The history of the samurai is one of the most captivating and unique narratives in the annals of warfare. These warriors, known for their honor, discipline, and unparalleled skill, shaped the course of Japanese history for over a millennium. From their origins as noble guards to their role as feudal lords, the samurai have left an indelible mark on Japanese culture and the world. In this video, we will journey through the history of the samurai, exploring their rise to power, their code of conduct, and their enduring legacy. The story of the samurai begins in the 8th century, during Japan's Nara period. At this time, Japan was ruled by a centralized imperial government based in the capital of Nara. The country's military was still in its formative stages, and the ruling aristocracy relied heavily on conscripts to defend the empire. However, as the country grew, the need for a more professional military force became apparent. This led to the formation of a new class of warriors, initially known as Bushi or Bujin. These early warriors were often drawn from the aristocratic families of Japan. They served as the personal bodyguards of noble families, assisting in the protection of property and land. In exchange for their services, the Bushi were granted land, which they could farm or pass on to their descendants. Over time, these warriors grew in power and influence, evolving from mere guards to the vanguard of Japan's feudal system. By the Heian period, which spanned from 794 to 1185, the Bushi began to gain more recognition and respect. During this time, the imperial court was weakened by political instability and internal strife. The court's inability to maintain order led to the rise of local military leaders who took control of regional domains and began to consolidate power. This marked the beginning of a process that would give rise to Japan's samurai class. The most significant event during this period was the rise of the Taira and Minamoto clans. These two powerful families clashed in a series of conflicts, most notably the Genpei War, 1180 to 1185. This war ultimately led to the downfall of the Taira clan and the establishment of the Kamakura shogunate under the leadership of Minamoto no Yoritomo in 1292. The Kamakura shogunate marked a new era in Japan, as military power was now in the hands of the samurai rather than the imperial court. The Kamakura shogunate was the first of several military governments that would rule Japan over the next few centuries. Under the shogunate system, Japan was divided into regions known as koku, each ruled by a samurai lord or daimyo. These lords were responsible for maintaining order in their territories and protecting their people. In return for their loyalty, the samurai were granted land, resources, and titles by their daimyo. This period also saw the development of the samurai's unique code of ethics known as Bushido, or the Way of the Warrior. Bushido was a set of principles that governed the behavior and conduct of the samurai. It emphasized loyalty, courage, and self-discipline, and demanded that samurai act with honor in all aspects of their lives. The code also placed a strong emphasis on martial prowess, with samurai being expected to be highly skilled in a variety of weapons, including the katana, bow, and spear. One of the most distinctive aspects of samurai culture was their relationship with death. The samurai saw death not as something to be feared, but as an inevitable part of life. This view was central to the Bushido code, which taught that a true samurai should live with the constant awareness of their own mortality. This mindset helped shape the samurai's reputation for bravery, as they were willing to sacrifice their lives for their lord, their family, and their honor. Throughout the Kamakura and Muromachi periods, 1185 to 1573, the samurai played a central role in shaping Japanese society. However, their influence began to decline during the Sengoku period, a time of intense civil war in Japan. During this era, regional lords fought for control of the country, leading to widespread instability and chaos. This period saw the rise of some of Japan's most famous samurai figures, including Oda Nobunaga, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, and Tokugawa Ieyasu. Despite the turmoil, these men were able to unify Japan, and in 1603, Tokugawa Ieyasu established the Tokugawa shogunate, ushering in a period of peace and stability that lasted for over 250 years. Under the Tokugawa regime, the samurai were no longer needed for warfare, and their role shifted from warriors to bureaucrats and administrators. Samurai were given stipends by their lords in exchange for their loyalty and services, but they were also encouraged to pursue education, philosophy, and the arts. During this time, samurai culture flourished, and many samurai took up the study of literature, tea ceremony, calligraphy, and Zen Buddhism. The Tokugawa period is also when the samurai's most iconic weapon, the katana, became synonymous with their identity. The katana, a curved single-edged sword, was considered a symbol of the samurai's honor and status. The sword was meticulously crafted, and it became an essential part of a samurai's daily life. Samurai believed that the katana was more than just a weapon. It was an extension of their spirit and a reflection of their soul. The process of sword making itself was an art, with expert craftsmen passing down their techniques through generations. However, the peaceful Tokugawa period was not to last forever. In the mid-19th century, Japan's isolationist policies came to an end when the United States forced Japan to open its ports to foreign trade. This led to a period of social and political upheaval as Western influence began to permeate Japanese society. The samurai, once the elite warrior class, found themselves out of place in this rapidly changing world. The Meiji Restoration of 1868 marked the official end of the samurai era. The new Meiji government sought to modernize Japan and build a strong, centralized state, and the samurai were no longer needed in their traditional role. The samurai were stripped of their privileges, and the class system was abolished. Samurai who had previously been granted stipends from their lords were no longer supported, and many found themselves without a purpose. Some samurai resisted these changes, and a series of uprisings took place, most notably the Satsuma Rebellion of 1877. Led by the disgruntled samurai Saigo Takamori, this rebellion was crushed by the modernized imperial army, signaling the end of the samurai's influence in Japan. Despite the end of the samurai as a class, their legacy has endured. The Bushido Code continues to influence Japanese culture and society, and the image of the samurai remains a powerful symbol of honor, discipline, and strength. In modern times, the samurai have become legendary figures in literature, film, and popular culture. Movies like Seven Samurai and The Last Samurai, as well as countless anime, manga, and video games, have perpetuated the image of the samurai as noble warriors who stand for justice and honor. Today, the samurai are remembered as one of the most iconic warrior classes in history. Their story is one of resilience, discipline, and honor in the face of adversity. From their humble beginnings as guards in the Nara period to their role as powerful feudal lords in the Edo period, the samurai's influence on Japan is immeasurable. Even in the modern world, the lessons of the samurai, honor, duty, and loyalty, continue to resonate, making them timeless symbols of strength and integrity. In conclusion, the history of the samurai is much more than just the story of warriors. It is the story of a culture that valued discipline, honor, and sacrifice above all else. Their legacy lives on, inspiring people around the world to live by their own codes of honor and integrity. The samurai, warriors of Japan, may have disappeared as a class, but their spirit continues to influence the world to this day.